let's talk about hazardous communications. So Hazcom program is required by the Bureau of Labor Standards. This is something that has to be done every year to ensure the safety of employees by providing information about hazardous substances, their location, properties, and guidelines for safe use. The program coordinator is Chief Romano for the fire department, and is Chief DeHaze for EMS. The overall responsibility for them is to review and do updates on them as we go every year. These are supposed to be reviewed by the chiefs every year and re-signed to make sure that we're ensuring compliance with the department and the Bureau of Labor. As far as the program parts, there's container labeling, MSDS sheets located in the radio room, or what they call SDS now, and then training and information, overview of the program, materials, present and their properties, exposure prevention, and procedures. So Chris will hold up the MSDS book. This whole book has been all redone and now meets the state standards that we need.
Yeah.
I think there's actually 2 of those down there.
Yeah, there is.
So
I just figured for demonstrational purposes, you only need 1.
So before we used to have this one book, now things have been reorganized and redesigned to meet the state standards. Materials container labeling is any kind of material transferred to another container that must be labeled. So if you take Windex out of a big supply, and then dump it into a spray bottle, and the spray bottle has to be labeled Windex on it. All right. The exception would be small quantity for one-time use. So if you pour something into like a spray bottle for one-time use and you're dumping it after you're done, those do not have to be labeled. But if it's going to sit onto a shelf, at that point it has to be labeled. As far as lists of hazardous chemicals, you have to have the name of the material, manufacturer, area where used, dates of use, and quantity listed in the index of the MSDS book, which is what's here. Further information is on MSDS as well, and for new materials, obtain MSDS and forward. I don't know why that says that's from class 11 for inclusion into the book itself. So what you're looking for is, please do not just bring in a chemical, put it onto the shelf. It has to be cleared by the chief before you bring it in, because that MSDS does have to go into the book. So don't bring stuff in here and start using it. All right, make sure you check with the chief first.
You can get stuff printed off the website.
Yes. Yep.
Be able to stick it back in the binder.
Exactly.
If you get something else.
Yep. Just make sure you have an officer notice that you put it in there. Don't just start bringing the chemicals in. Without MSDS, it can be fine. If I remember correctly, for every chemical that we do not have in there, it's $1,000 fine. So that can turn to be a lot of money.
Steve can talk about that a couple times.
As far as MSDS sheets or SDS sheets, they should be obtained at the same time as the material. So the place you bought them should be providing them to you. And they're provided by the manufacturer. However, like Brian did say, you can get them online as well. MSDS information, if you look at the MSDSs that are in the book, product description, other designations, the manufacturer, emergency telephone numbers, has some reactivity data, physical data, health hazard data, hazardous ingredients, special protection and precautions, transportation, regulatory data, small spill procedures and waste disposal, or spill procedures and waste disposal, and fire and explosion data as well. These will be very handy to you if you're in a hazmat situation to have these things in hand, especially some of the physical data and how they react. If you start getting into hazmat technician stuff, this is where these things start becoming very important. You know how we're going to handle certain situations. Where to obtain the MSDS, the vendor, internet search, and then for an example, be like a product name, MSDS, like Clorox bleach or Kingsford charcoal, things like that. So if you do have charcoal in the building for a charcoal grill, you have to have an MSDS in the book for Kingsford charcoal. And that's how picky they can be with those things. As far as the hazard non-routine tasks, example would be cleaning a diamond plate on a truck with a polishing product. So you'd have to have those on there, so use specific ones. The employees would be informed about the specific hazard and product and precautions and equipment to be used. Like Chief's Choice truck wash. if the chief wants this, then that's what we're going to utilize. Just don't bring your own in and start using fire trucks. All right, use the one that's the chief's choice, whatever he decides he wants to put in there. Other employers or contractors, so the program administrator is required to advise any others working about our facilities. So in theory, when the guy came in to do garage door work, he's supposed to be notified about this and where to find the MSTF locations of the problem. So I'm sure that didn't happen. But it's supposed to be notified.
You're being shot one time.
Chemicals and unlabeled pipes. This is not applicable at this time, so things like that. Program availability. Copies of this program are available upon request by employees and their representatives. So copy email to all members and public copy in the radio room. So if you want a copy of this program, you can make the request and send it to you. There is a full Hazcom policy that should be in this book here. I should want to say Hazcom on there. It's supposed to be yours. So the annual requirements, you're required to do an annual review and sign off. So I think there's a roster there you guys all need to sign. Say you acknowledge the policies today, so you guys will sign those. And administrators have to do a review and update once a year. Any questions on the hazardous materials Hazcom? All right, so in the book, so the very back of the book, there's a policy about Hazcom. So it's the Shapley Fire Department, Shapley Rescue Squad, Hazard Communications, and Chemical Safety. So in here, there's a document is here, 8-page document on hazardous communications, which all of you need to review and then sign on this roster for you guys for 2018. All right. So I'll leave that here for you to do at the end of the class. Okay, I'm just trying to review the policy book and make your signatures on that. All right. Any questions at all?